What is going on, everyone? Badger here. Should have liked and sub, and let's get into this. Gears of War, at least the first three, one of my favorite trilogies ever. I realize now in hindsight, now that I've been learning about Warhammer, just how much they drew inspiration from of a grim dark, where all that society knows is war. But all of the people involved in that have a bit of respectability as far as I'm concerned. And so when Laura Frier, the executive producer for said trilogy, executive of Gears of War, at least the first three, when she came out to explain about AAA games, why they keep failing, specifically in relation to Dragon Age the Veilguard, this is exactly what we're talking about, how we need people in the industry who know how the sausage is made to come out and explain all the things that they're doing wrong. Because when we explain those very same things, we get attacked and called racist and shills and sexist and homophobic. And you know the rules. Laura, on the other hand, obviously is a woman and she's in this industry. And so when she comes out, and essentially in this first article, she described Gamergate and toxic positivity, how all of these studios, you're not allowed to say anything negative. You're not allowed to have any critiques. That's the toxic positivity. And she went on to talk about the almost incestuous relationship between game studios and gaming journalists, those legacy gaming journalists, which of course led to Comicsgate, well, that too, but also Gamergate, and sort of just this weird echo chamber between the two and the alienation of fans. And thank God she's still around, because now she's doing it for Assassin's Creed, if I ever get there, because the last time we talked about it, of course, they're adding a canon mode, talked about how great and fast their female assassin is. But those are all fine and understood. But what is not understood, and I'll help you out with it, because I don't think she's seen some of the articles we've seen. She doesn't understand, and this is Laura Frier, baffled as to why Assassin's Creed Shadows would go with Yasuke as the main protagonist. Well, we all are, of course, until we found some of those insiders from Smash JT and Endymion spilling the juice. Spoiler, it was George Floyd. So Laura Floyd, executive producer of Gears of War, revealing she is baffled as to why Ubisoft decided to make Assassin's Creed Shadows with Yasuke as the main protagonist. Oh, and of course, thanks to Endymion and his sources, we found out that Yamacha Tamaguchi, I believe, was supposed to be one of the main assassins. He's already in some of the earlier Assassin's Creed lore that's now been retconned. He was a monk, Chinese monk, or Japanese monk rather, and he would have been the star. But socio-political reasons, they went with Yasuke. So in a video recently uploaded and titled "The Games Industry Elephant," Frier discussed how video game companies decide to hire localizers and consultants in order to mitigate risks regarding geopolitical issues. She shared one example. There was also that time when all the Microsoft distributors in Turkey were arrested because Encarta 95 had released with a map that included an area for Kurdistan. That one did get fixed, of course. Microsoft was a good company. They didn't want people getting arrested, and they knew they couldn't expect game developers to be well-versed in geopolitical issues. So they started hired a group of localizers and created an entire group to help the product teams be sensitive to those issues. You couldn't have a game developer putting the Microsoft brand at risk. Well, they don't care about putting their brands at risk now. So she goes on to talk about Shadows. After having those experiences, I'm baffled about some of the things I'm seeing today. Did any of the executives at Ubisoft question whether or not doing Assassin's Creed Shadows was a good idea? I've been to Japan many times. I've worked with Namco as the producer on Revenge of Arcade, and during Xbox, I managed a team there. I love the people and the culture. And based on that experience, I would never have agreed to do this game, because even if you handled it as delicately as possible, it's easy to make a mistake, and I think they have. 1,000, and it's not just Yasuke. There was the Torigate controversy. It was the Chinese architecture in Japanese environments. It was the Chinese lanterns. It was selling Zoro's sword from One Piece as Yasuke's sword. The list goes on and on, not to mention the controversies of Thomas Lockley and others who asserted outright fact, even though it's from an ambiguous translation of like 13 different journals. There's like one little sentence that talks about Yasuke. And even that, we go into the semantical minutia of samurai with a capital S or samurai as in part of the group. So yeah, they made a bunch of mistakes. So she continues, the game isn't even out and it's already mired in controversy, and this isn't what you want for your game. Maybe it'll blow over, it won't, and they'll be able to navigate this, but if not, that was a very expensive experiment to the tune of 20 million euros to remove this comes from Endymion sources, so take it with as you will, to remove on the nose modern day dialogue, talking about patriarchy, talking about white supremacy in Japan, and yes, to take out the cringe modern day rap music, because Yasuke is black, so we got to have rap music, right? So yeah, they did not. And then this goes on. This is Cotier, the lead for Assassin's Creed, just talking about how diverse history always was, and yeah. They're coping. Miss Frier is correct. This is not going to blow over. That's actually the tactic that over there at Obsidian with Avowed, they're hoping it blows over with them because of that Matt Hansen. So it might over there. But Assassin's Creed Shadows, no, tain't nothing blowing over here, and we will keep you informed. But you love to see it. Thank you, Miss Laura Frier, for coming out and speaking the true. And that's all we need. We just needed sane people like that stopping these dumb decisions before they ever happen. So gatekeeping, let's bring that back. Anyway, let me know what you think about all this. Make sure to like, share, and sub. If you have done that, thank you. If you're going to do that, thank you.
Well, bye.